Melvin Arbuckle. I knew he was going to be a psychiatrist, psychologist. He's a pioneer in the field of mental health. And you know, he's that kind of person that later on you kind of boast about and say, hey, I knew Dr. Melvin Arbuckle. We were kids together. He lived with his grandpa. He used to have to go out and find his grandpa because his grandpa was getting lost all the time. Another thing about this old man, he wouldn't let anybody get behind him. If you met him in the street, he'd circle around uneasily till he had a wall or a fence for a telephone pole. There was a very good reason for this. They were coming to get him someday. We never knew who was coming to get him, but you knew somebody was coming at him because he was scared. This guy is the reason that Mel Arbuckle is a famous doctor who was a pioneer in the field of mental health. I'll tell you what happened. A kid named Peanuts came to our town. He was English, you know, and he talked a sissy accent the way English kids do. Somebody, I don't know who, said, let's build a cave. The way we used to build a cave, we'd cut the sods out, and we put boards over, then we just put the dirt over again, then we put the sods under, then we get under there. We decided to build it at Arbuckle's house. Mel Arbuckle, he's a famous Canadian today. Halfway between the house and the back house, in between 3 cords of wood and 2 clothesline poles. After we got the sods off, and that was easy, getting the sods up, but when we came to the hard pan, it just came out in stinking little sugar lumps. And some kids said, boy, we could just run her full of water and soften her up, and some other one says, if we could blow her out. I can get you dynamite. You know, Peanut says, I can get you dynamite. He had a high credibility. You not only would he get you dynamite, you couldn't stop him getting you dynamite. And we'd been tossing around imaginary dynamite. And he went home and he got 3 70% sticks of dynamite. They took out a match. Ike said, hey, wait a minute, hold on. He says, it'd take 3 minutes. Plenty of time to take cover. We ran around the end of the house. I was counting, you know, 20 and 1, 20 and 2, and all of a sudden I got to 50 and 9, and we heard the screen door slap the August stillness. And Mel said he's headed for the back house, and it was Mel's grandpa coming out from his nap. He walked straight for where that fuse was burning. Peanuts launched himself after the old man, and the old man heard these running footsteps coming up behind him. He didn't look back to see who had come to get him. He just set an octogenarian 100-yard dash record, jumped into the back house, slammed the door and latched it, and Peanuts just kept going right on beyond, and he was out there on the prairie when those 3 sticks of 70% dynamite let go. 4 cords of wood took flight, those clothesline poles javelined up into the air. Oh, and the back house with Mel's grandpa in it, it went straight up about 6 foot. And it was the first thing to come back to Earth, and it fell according to Newton's law of falling back houses. You've taken it up, and you know you will when you get on grade 11 or 12, is Newton's law of falling back houses in physics. It says a falling back house will always come to rest on the door side. So if you got a loved one trapped in there, you aren't going to get them out on the vertical. You got to go through the hole and bring them out on the horizontal. We all just moved in a confused body in the direction of the back house. And, you know, old man wasn't grateful when we let him out of there. He swung at me with it. He got me right along the side of my chin with his cane. Well, you know, you can't keep something like that quiet. We all got a licking, and we were quarantined, each kid in his own yard for a whole month. But when our quarantine was over, Mel Arbuckle got a freedom. That old man never wandered again. He was scared to go out and get lost. He just sat in the Arbuckle living room with 2 walls safe at his back for 2 years. The only reason he quit then was because he died. But you see what I've been driving at, that it was a fellow Canadian, the age of 12. First, no, it was a perfect cure for that crazy old man. The first known, by blowing him up, you know, in the back house, the first known use of shock therapy for the mentally ill.